Hello.
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 We're two rats that came together for one man.
Adam designated driver, baby. The rats need to be fed on schedule or they'll get sick.
This week, as part of our Good Books, Great Drivers series, we will be discussing Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. You are listening to Great Driver.
We can't start the episode without a hello. It's just how we do it every time. You guys, it's been far too long. I am so sorry, but you know what? That's what life is. That's what life does. It keeps me and Shelley apart, and it's stupid.
I know. That's what life does. It keeps us apart.
Literally. And then we can't film and be friends. Just kidding. Oh my god. Because I got sick again, and then Shelley got sick, and then we're like, our schedules are not lining up. And then granted, we're 6 hours apart.
Yep.
So when one is awake, one is asleep.
Yep.
So just trying to figure out a time of day to actually
make it work,
film. Yeah. But we don't want to rush this because this is quality time.
Yes, exactly.
This is our quality time. Shelley blessed us by being Jedi Ben Solo recently. Yes.
I was representing the boy.
Baby boy.
And let me tell you, the stars aligned. I don't know if it's because of this cosplay or it just had to happen.
Shelley's just so charismatic, and magnetic, and just is just good with people. That's all I can say. Because I probably would just be like a homina, homina, homina.
I was like, I'm a fucking gremlin.
I'm a fucking gremlin. Well, gremlins attract gremlins.
True. So, I don't know if you heard that, but my chair just went boing, boing.
Boing.
You can try it.
Oh, yeah, great. Throw some boing in there.
So, I had a very amazing experience, and I met such wonderful people. So, this is actually already 2 weeks ago, or maybe even 3 weeks ago. Any hoozle. By the way, I get that from you, the any hoozle. Only started saying that because of you, yeah.
Well, I'm now laughing like you, so.
All right. So, my friend Jenny and I, shout out Jenny.
Jenny?
We went to a German Star Wars convention called the Norse Force Con, and that was in Firth, and all the German homies are gonna go, it's fit. So if you don't know by now, I live in Germany. I know, in the beginning of the podcast, I was like, I don't want anybody to know where I live, but yeah, people can put two and two together at this point. Yeah. So I live in Germany, and we went to the Norse Force Con, and it was a pretty small con, but it was just Star Wars based. Yeah, so we were just walking around. I was in Ben Solo, and Jenny was in her Twi'lek original character, so OC. And we were just so fascinated because there were so many, it was like a regular convention. They had so many droid setups. You could go to the individual stands and they would show you how they make droids, how they make costumes. Anything Star Wars based was at this con. It was small, but it was intense. Intense as in there was so much to offer. And so we were just like, oh, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. And of course there were celebrities. It was a charity convention, I guess. So everything that they made off of this goes to, I think, a children's hospital, if I'm not mistaken, or multiple
That's
charities.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So everybody that came knew all the photos and autographs, the money that they would get from these conventions would go to, for charity. So that was really lovely. We only went one day. And later that day, we met an artist. His name is Jamie Richards. Photo.
Hello, Jamie Richards.
And he does official artwork for Disney, for Star Wars, so for Lucasfilm. And he had a stand and we got to talking to him and he's such a lovely person and we were joking around and he's from the UK and Jenny's from the UK. So they bonded over that and then we just kind of started talking and then he met a lot of people and he knew almost all of the people that were there that day, because he does these conventions a lot, because it's for charity. And so we did purchase some artwork because we were like, this is such a nice guy. We had such a lovely conversation. I definitely want his artwork because it's beautiful. And I was like, by chance, do you have anything Kylo Ren related? And he's like, no, unfortunately not. However,
just kidding.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm a big fan.
I mean, you're literally Kylo Ren / Ben Solo in front. Do you have
Yeah, I was like, you got any of this going on right here?
What's over here?
And he's like, well, my Stan neighbor, like he was supposed to be here. He is his real life neighbor, and he is the stand-in and voice synchronous like actor for the Kylo Ren. So yeah.
Did you ask him to go, I know what I must do?
I know. He was so lovely. He's like, well, he's my neighbor. Like, if you want like an autograph or something, I can just hit him up. And then, so maybe I'm getting a autograph from the stand-in for Kylo Ren. He does the Kylo Ren voiceovers for Bat2, so everything in Galaxy's Edge in Disney. He did for The Rise of the Resistance. He did a lot of stuff.
So that's not Adam at the park?
It's not, no, not everything is Adam, unfortunately.
I've been played.
You've been played.
Great job, though, dude, because you fooled me.
So his name is James Taylor. So it's Jamie Richards and James Taylor. Or the photo right here, I guess I can put in here. Okay, so the thing is, Adam doesn't have any stunt actors. Like, he does all of his own stunts on set. Adam did everything, yes. However, they did still need James as like a stand-in sometimes.
Maybe Adam couldn't make it to a certain type of filming thing, but he was in like a helmet and no one would know it wasn't Adam or something. Maybe,
Exactly. Yeah. So he was in, as Jamie explained, he was like in the full costume and like he does a lot of voiceovers and basically he is Kylo 2.0. You know, next to Adam, he is Kylo.
Is he also 6'3"?
He is pretty tall, yeah. I looked him up. I was like,
you can't put a 5'8" guy and be like, I'm Kylo Ren, and be like,
yeah. That would be like me walking around like, hey, you can't do that.
No, that'd be like me. I'm like the Funko Pop of Kylo Ren. Like that would be the only way I could do Kylo Ren because I'm 5 foot fucking
Funko
2.
Pop.
I'm a foot and an inch shorter than Adam, okay?
So anyway, there was that. So like that was already super, super exciting. And I was like, Jamie, you are the best. Thank you so much. He did say like, when you get home, text me and remind me, you know. I was like, that's cool. So far I haven't gotten it yet, but once I do, I will obviously share it on here. And then the guy walked past and he's like, wait, you have to meet, did you meet Damon yet? And I was like, no. He's like, Damon, come over here. And so we just introduced ourselves really quickly because he had to go to like a photo shoot or something, or like they had like some get together. He was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, something. And so he had to leave, and we're like, all right, nice to meet you. And then that was that. Later, like it was about an hour or two later, we were just walking around having fun, and we were like, you know what, let's go up to the autograph booths. It doesn't look very busy. Let's just like see who else is here, you know. So we walk up the stairs and we see Damon, and like his poster is behind him, and it says Damon Driver. His name is Damon Driver. So I was like, he's not related to Adam. At least he says he doesn't know, but you never know. However, we started talking to him and he was, oh my God, the loveliest person ever. He was so sweet. He does a lot of stormtrooper work, so a lot of stand-ins. So you know the famous photo of Kylo where he's like walking with the helmet off, and like from the Force Awakens promo shoot. He's one of the stormtroopers behind him. Obviously, then he, you know, met Adam, and he worked on Star Wars, all of the sequels. And he does a lot of stormtrooper work, period. He's a lot of stand-ins for Game of Thrones. Do you know in I think it's season 3, where Khaleesi gets the whip and she gets the Unsullied army? The master comes in and he cuts off one of the nipples of one of the soldiers. Do you know that scene? We can put... she went, the soldier that gets his nipple cut off is Damon.
Wasn't that Jacob Anderson?
Grey Worm? Nope. No, Grey Worm doesn't get his nipple cut off, but it was just like...
He got something else cut off.
Like a random... No, it was one of the random soldiers, and he said that the actual soldier, like the actual actor that was supposed to get his nipple cut off for that scene, he showed up late to work, so he was the stand-in for that guy, and he got his nipple cut off. Like, obviously a prosthetic.
Yeah, can you imagine just putting the prosthetic on, and then you're just like covering your nipple with a fake nipple that looks like your nipple, and then they just go... Yeah. It's gotta be like that phantom pain thing, like what they do with the hand.
Yeah, and he was so lovely. He was just absolute sweetheart.
Aww.
We stayed there for like an hour and a half just talking to him. Because like he told us all a bunch of like behind the scenes stories from Game of Thrones. He worked on the Avengers. He worked on Avatar. He's in so many films. And so like we got some behind the scenes info, which was really exciting. But usually like when you meet celebrities and you're like, oh my God, they worked on this and that. That didn't matter at all because this human being is the loveliest person I've ever met. Like he's so sweet. And we actually adopted him as our uncle. So we now call him Uncle Damon because he's just so lovely. He's like, if you guys are here later, we can just grab a coffee or something. We're like, hell yeah. He's like, and then I can tell you all more stories, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sure. And then we actually there were 2 people next to him, and one of them was Matt Tyler. He does a lot of Wookiee work. This man is huge. He was so tall. Also, such a sweetheart. He was really, really nice. The first, like, when we met him there, like, when we took photos, I also, like, it was actually kind of funny because he was like, do you want a photo? Like, do you want to buy some stuff? I was, like, trying to push his autographs, and we're like, sure. And so we did. We took a photo, and he was really nice. And then he was like, yeah, Ross is here, too. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know who Ross is. And then he's like, oh, yeah, and then he said something about Snoke. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it didn't really register to me, but he wasn't there, so we didn't really meet him then. And we're like, okay, well, we'll let you guys do your thing. We'll walk around. And then we walked around, and we saw that Deanna Lee Inosanto, she plays the witch in Ahsoka, the one that Ahsoka then also, like, battles with the staff. That's her. And the thing is, like, Jamie actually told us about that, because he's like, so where are you from? And I was like, you know, blah, 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 States. He's like, yeah, we have a couple American actors up there, too. One of them is from Colorado. I was like, Colorado? Where? And he's like, Pueblo. I was like, no fucking way. My dad was born in Pueblo. And so that's why he was like, come on, let's go meet her. I was like, okay. So we went up there and we talked to her. And I was like, I heard you're from Pueblo. And she's like, yes. And then we just started talking. It was so lovely. She was so sweet. Like, there were a couple of kids and she was so sweet with them. But that was a really nice interaction as well. She accidentally spilled her water bottle on her skirt. So I posted the photo of us together, and then, like, I put like a text right in front of her skirt so it would block out the stain.
God.
Yeah, you know, and then we left. I was like, tell the Coloradan skies I say hello. She's like, I'll do that, you know. Well, she's not from Pueblo. She's from California, but she has a ranch in Pueblo. Yeah, so that was really lovely. And then a couple hours passed, and we texted Damon. We're like, hey, we're still here. We're out for dinner now. Let's meet up. And we're like, okay. And then there was this, like, after party. It was kind of like a playback show with a lot of cosplayers, and they did, like, NSYNC. They did Lady Marmalade and stuff like that as Twi'leks, and, you know, just as Star Wars characters. It was pretty dope. And we're like, well, we're here, so whenever you guys are done with dinner, just meet us here. And he did. And he brought Matt and Ross and Ron. And at first, I didn't really know these people, so I was just like, hey, you know, let's hang out. This is awesome. This is fun. Great ambiance, whatever. And he's like, yeah, let's go out drinking. And we're like, yes! That's a good idea. That's always a good idea.
Especially with people you just met. No.
Yes. So we went to this bar, and basically it was Matt Tyler, who does Wookiee work. It was Damon Driver, which I just explained, and it was Ross Sandbridge. And he, ladies and gentlemen, is the body of Snoke. Supreme Leader Snoke, baby!
Yale.
Yeah, he does a lot of stand-in work as well, or did, for Supreme Leader Snoke. Of course, we know Andy Serkis is the face and the voice of Supreme Leader Snoke, but Ross is the body. And so he also met Adam and, like, you know, Daisy and everything. And he is the funniest fucking person ever. Sometimes he would just bust out some things, and I was like, I never thought I would ever hear Supreme Leader Snoke say shit like that.
It does look quite creepy, to be honest.
Make it creepier.
Because it just lights up
I can make it creepier, don't worry about that.
Oh, wait, he has a red one!
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm really glad I'm not taking pictures but filming this whole thing.
That's a bigger red one, that is.
A real teacup.
Dude, we had the most fun ever.
It's like, is this how you got Ben to, like,
Dude, yeah, like,
correct all these jokes, my boy?
yeah, that was basically the gist of the evening, too. Like, he played into it the whole time. Like, every time, like, you want another beer, Ben? Just shit like that. Because I was in full Ben Solo, and he's fucking Snoke, and, like, we totally, like, played into the situation. It was so funny.
Harder? Okay.
Just imagine, did you make this? Or did you just...
Oh, no, I bought this years ago. This
Sorry.
is what Snoke did all the time to Ben.
All right. So I take it.
Just the fact that Snoke, and that's like Ben Solo's favorite.
Hi. loving this.
You having fun there, stuff like that?
Look, my next victim.
I haven't laughed that hard in such a long time. And Matt Tyler is so funny too. Like the two of them, like Ross and Matt together, chaotic
Playing off
gremlins.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and the energy was supreme. it was supreme.
Pun intended.
Them. Oh my god. Ross also does Wookiee work because he's so tall, you know? They were in Solo. They were Wookiees together in Solo, the movie Solo. All evening, I was just like, I never in my life felt that short. It was, my god.
Did you feel like Shannon Short walking to them? Like you're like, is this what it's like to live in Shannon's world?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll send y'all photos.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell how huge they are, but absolute sweethearts. I had the most amazing time.
Hi! Matt, get in here. Jenny! Oh yeah, let's get all of them here.
And we still keep in touch. Like, all of them said, like, you know, next time you're in the UK, because obviously they're all from the UK, just hit us up, like, text us, and then, you know, we can grab a coffee or, you know, just hang out. And it's like, yes, because, yes, they're celebrities and, like, they worked on Star Wars and, like, amazing work, amazing projects. But I just felt like I knew these people for such a long time, even though, like, we just met and only hung out that one evening. But it was just such a, like, not a healing experience. I don't know how to explain it. It was just so, it was like hanging out with family. It was like hanging out with friends that you've known for like 20 years.
Right.
Just the energy match. It was amazing. So yeah, I now know 2 Wookiees, a Supreme Leader, and a Stormtrooper / Unsullied soldier.
I love that.
But yeah, all of them are amazing. And then there was one older gentleman with the group, and his name was Ron.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he was so sweet too. Like, he had his little beer bottle, and he was just walking and like looking. And I was like always so anxious, like, is he here? Because he was a little shorter than me, so I was like, where is he? Like, we lost one, you know? Like, always doing a head count.
No!
As a teacher in me, I was like, head count. Okay, well, I can see Ross, I can see Matt. Like, they're so tall, you can't lose them. But Ron, it turns out, he is his name is Ron Hone, and he is the original puppeteer for Yoda. And there were moments where Jenny and me just looked at each other, we're like, is this real life? We're like,
Right? It's like, I'm gonna wake up soon.
yeah. But, like, it didn't feel like you were with celebrities or whatever. You, like, got to know the people, because, you know, at the end of the day, they're just people too. Yeah, so, like, Ross, he was like, because he plays a Wookiee, so that's why it's funny, the pun. And he's like, the next time you're in the UK, you're gonna have to hit me up and I'll take you to the Wookiee hole. I was like, excuse me, what?
And also, she wants to visit my Wookiee hole. Yeah.
The Wookiee Hole is a place in the UK. It's like a hot springs. And there's like this really old, beautiful, like ruins. It's called Wookiee. Like, it's not spelled like the Wookiee, like from Star Wars. I think it's EY or something. Yeah, and he
Okay.
said that name was the inspiration for the Wookiees, like the name.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if it did, like, if you went to that spring and it was like Wookiee hole, as all the springs came up, they go, and they go up.
Woo! This was actually almost a little sad, but Matt was like, he was teasing me because I was like, because he kept saying, well, don't leave yet, you know, we're not done, the night is still young, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I gotta get going, like, you know, I still have an hour and a half drive, you know, home, and it's like already 2 a.m, you know, I gotta get home. And he's like, but you've been drinking. And I was like, yeah, it's just 1 beer in Germany. That's not a lot, you know? And then
Right.
the whole time he was just teasing me. He's like, you're not going to get home. You've had a beer, like a German beer. You're not getting home. You're going to crash your car. You're not getting home. Blah, blah, blah. And then like I got home. Everything was fine. I got home safe. I texted him. I was like, ha, told you, I'm home. No, I didn't say it like that. But, you know, I was like, I promised I made it home safe.
Right.
However, 2 days later, my husband, he had an accident with the car. He actually did crash it. A deer jumped in front of the car and it totaled my car, unfortunately. So I texted Matt. I was like, I don't know if you manifested this. I was like, sir. No, but, you know, because, like, we were joking about it, and then 2 days later, actually, it happened. So I was like,
Well, I mean, sometimes deer are like really dumb. They see lights coming and then they're like, run in front of them. I'm just like,
yeah. My husband's fine. He's He's good. They are gremlins, and we love them. They are amazing actors, and they are just amazing people. So that was a very, very cool experience, and I got to meet really lovely people. Every single one of them. Just really.
As baby Ben Solo.
Yes. They got stopped a lot for photos, too. And, like, we were kind of in the group. They're like, come on, let's go. And, like, now we have, like, these awkward photos of us, like, all these actors, Twi'lek and Ben Solo, just like, ah, and, like, just random strangers photos now. So there you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You have the co-host of Good Soup Great Driver in your Snoke Wookiee group photo.
Combination.
You're in the Adam Driver fandom. Welcome.
Yeah. The dynamic, like the constellation of all of us together, it was wild. I was like, this is so bizarre. But it was great. It was a lot of fun.
I loved hearing, I got basically a play-by-play of this throughout the day and also the next day, and then Shelley sends a video of Ross being like, hello, Shannon, and I'm like, Snoke said hi to me. I was like, oh my god.
Did I tell you that I have a podcast with my friend that's all about Adam Driver?
No. Who's Shannon?
My partner for the podcast.
Oh, excellent, lovely, nice. Hi, Shannon. Hiya.
I told him, I was like, did you know I have a podcast about Adam Driver with my friend Shannon? He's like, no, really? I was like, yeah. Then he's like, hi, Shannon. I was like, Shannon, Snoke wants to say hi.
Literally.
Yeah. Again, it was just so bizarre. Him as Snoke, and then me dressed as Ben Solo. Like, so bizarre.
Yeah.
He's such a funny guy. Like, there was not one moment where I didn't laugh. Actually, yes, just one moment when I went to the restroom, and that was it. Like, I was like, you know what, Ross, I'm about to have the best abs of my life by tomorrow morning. Because of all of this laughing.
I still would have been laughing in the bathroom because I would have been like sitting there peeing and I'm like, ha, Wookiee hole. And then just like, and then back.
Oh, I have to tell him that. I have to text him that. That's Wookiee hole.
Seems like I'll fit right in. This is great.
So now I have an Uncle Damon Driver, and I'm besties with a Wookiee and the Supreme Leader. I'm besties with Snoke. But Damon, he really was like an uncle because he was always making sure, are you okay? Do you need anything? He was such an uncle mode. It was so fucking cute. And he was like always checking if everybody was together. And then there was one point he told Jenny, like, where's Shelley? It's like, I don't know, somewhere over there. And then vice versa, like, is Jenny okay? I haven't seen her in a while.
He's keeping track of everyone better than everyone else. Even your friend is like, I don't know, she's over there. And he's like, where's Shelley?
Where's Latrell?
Yeah, where is Shelley? Why is she always gone? Fucking gremlin. I need an air tag when I'm out. Last year in Dallas, we got air tags by my friend Katie, because, like, I'm basically Cassian. Just like... But it was just like such an amazing experience I wanted to share. So thank you for that amazing evening, Ross, Matt, Ron, Jamie, and obviously Damon. And Jenny, of course. Jenny.
Rocky!
So thank you. That was a really, really nice evening, day. And I'm just so glad like we actually keep in touch. You know, it's really sweet. Amazing people.
Yeah.
Very grateful. That was really cool.
Oh my gosh, yay. I'm so glad. And we'll tag them. We'll tag them. We'll be like, here, we're talking about you in this video.
Here we go.
It's funny because early on in the podcast, we'd always talked about how Adam would just kind of leave breadcrumbs, that we wouldn't hear from him for a while. And so us rats were just kind of munching on remnants.
Let me take like half an almond, like the Target lady. It worked!
It worked! Welcome to Target!
Welcome to Target! Okay, sorry.
Somebody welcome to Target!
You do that really well.
Oh, thanks! Oh yeah, so early in the podcast, you know, Shelley was like, look, us rats, we're like fed breadcrumbs because we just don't hear from Adam. You know, he's super private. You know, we're not getting quite as fed as like Oscar Isaac fans right now with, you know, Frankenstein coming out. However, Adam's been consistent at like even just little tidbits, like the pictures in August of him, and then the U.S. Open, and then now the New York Film Festival, where he actually showed up for Jim to talk about Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. And Shelley called it during the daytime part or whatever. He showed up in a Flip Zimmerman plaid.
You leading.
My dad! He was probably like, I wonder if enough years have passed that I could wear this out in public, and people aren't going to be like, oh, that's a Flip Zimmerman top. And Shelley's like, Flip Zimmerman!
Hey, boop, boop. Like Leo, I see you.
Yeah.
He looks more Flip Zimmerman now than back in the day. He looks so much like.
Yeah, he's growing that facial hair out.
And he still has the brown boots, the iconic brown boots that he's had since probably Juilliard, and maybe even earlier than that. Because, like, he is loyal to those damn
Yeah.
boots.
He wore them on girls, I think, a few times, like those.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know someone that got the same like boots, not like his boots, but like the same exact boots, and bought them because they're an Adam Sackler shoe.
Yep. And he always wears them. Any chance he gets, he wears these boots. Like, that's like a part of him. And I love that. I will cry the day he throws them out. But again, he doesn't seem like somebody that wastes a lot of things. So, like, I feel like he's gonna wear them until they literally fall apart. Like, until they're unwearable.
Yeah.
I love that too about him. That just shows character.
As long as his feet don't grow anymore, then we're good. I'm just kidding.
Well, at 42, I think he's done.
You think we're good? Okay.
Yeah. Almost 42.
So like the daytime panel, he's wearing like the flannel with like a long sleeve and like black pants, and then he was like, quick costume change, I'm gonna take the flannel off and put a blazer on. Boom.
Boom.
So he's like, new outfit. And then they do like a nighttime panel. That one person who plays his sister in the movie wasn't there, so that's probably why we think he actually showed up. Because that person who was on Big Bang Theory is a Zio Shnashi. So we don't
A Zio Shnashi. I like that. I need to tell my mom that.
because I don't want it to be flagged from any like trigger words, you know, I'm playing. So we have this theory that Adam is avoiding her because of her views and stances. So we'll, you know, we'll just see.
Yeah, because we know he's a good person and he's not gonna stand for Zion Shnazi. What did you say?
It almost said I'm about to say schnapps, like Zio schnapps.
You know, the followers of Satan Yahoo.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom always calls him Satan Yahoo because Netanyahu. I mean, it's true. That man is Satan. Just like Trump. Anyway.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I echo your words. But yeah, the entire panel is up online, so you can watch it. I actually haven't watched it yet. But I did watch clips thanks to Adam Driver Central feeding us rats since I don't know when, but for fucking ever. Jim and Adam have such a cute friendship. Like, I about melted when he was just like, Adam, he was saying something how Adam is has such a cold heart.
Yeah.
But then he like takes it back and he's like, no, Adam is just one of the most beautiful people I have ever met. And I'm just literally like, thank God. Because it's not like you're waiting for Adam to not be a good person, but it just seems like lately celebrities are just showing their true fucking colors. And it's just so nice to hear Adam just constantly like just proving that he's such a good guy. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting there. You know, he's like, okay, yeah, okay. And then they're just like, Adam, you're amazing.
Yeah. Like, because he's not trying to give a certain image. Like, a lot of celebrities do, you know? Like, they try to promote how great they are. Like, oh, I am a good person. And blah, blah, blah. Like, Keira Knightley the other day. Did you fucking see that interview?
I just put a video out about that shit.
Until I saw that interview, I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? There's so many people disappointing me right now. I always thought Keira Knightley, girl, my home girl. No. Like, that whole clip of her.
The way she laughs like that.
Yeah, like, I guess we just have to find a way to, like, live together. No, call them bitches out. Call these assholes out. It's not okay.
It just means she doesn't care and she just wants a paycheck.
Exactly. She's all about the money. So, like, there goes another one. Bye. I mean, of course, it's going to be produced either way. But if enough people have the cojones to say, no, I want no part of this, no matter how big the paycheck's going to be, you're not going to be able to produce it. That means no more money for JK Fucktwad.
So you can't just say, Keira Knightley, that we need to learn to live together when she's not trying to live harmoniously with trans people. She's trying to eradicate them.
Exactly.
So you can't say that. What you want is compliance from the minority, not for you to understand or at least tolerate the minority. You know, it's not up to you to understand trans people or queer people. You know, you may never, because you'll never walk a trans or queer life. But what you can do is be like, they're like a living person. And if that's how they want to live their life, then cool. And that's all you have to leave it at.
Exactly. Just have the decency and respect just to leave other people alone and have them live their life the way they want and have them love whoever they want and live the way they want. As long as they're not harming anybody else, which they're not, what's the
In
big
fact, they're the
deal?
ones being harmed by this kind of hate.
Exactly. Like, just fueling that kind of hate and being silent, silence equals complicity. So if you're silent about J.K. Rowling being an asshole and trying to eradicate trans people and just in general LGBTQ community, then you're compliant to her cause, and therefore you are harming this community. So, boo bye. Elizabeth Swan, my ass. She seemed like a decent person.
Enough about that complacent turf.
Exactly. I feel like we've been talking a lot about this asshole, and like, no, she doesn't deserve the space and time that we're clearly giving her. JKR, I mean, not Keira Knightley.
Well, perhaps she is Professor Umbridge, the bitch. Anyways, so
I guess it is a perfect fit then.
my name's Keira Knightley, and we all need to learn to live together.
I like the way that she laughed about it, like, like, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Like, we're trying to have these people live, not just live together, but actually live and be allowed to exist.
It's like you're uncomfortable, but they're dying, so
Yeah, wah, get over it.
wah, poor you.
Yeah.
So, Adam Driver is amazing person, and people
Yes.
that he works with continue to show that. He doesn't have to do
Mhm.
anything. He just lives as himself. Adam even said no one was just sitting in their trailer. And I think, was it John Waits who was like, I didn't even have a trailer or something. It was really funny. But like,
Yeah.
but like they all wanted to be on set together. They were all having a really good time. Yeah. I can't wait because Jim just knows how to make Adam shine. Honestly, all the directors do, but Jim really knows how to make Adam shine. So I'm really excited. We're really doing a Jim Jarmusch season too.
Yeah, we are.
We're talking about all of Jim Jarmusch like movies.
Yes, Jim appreciation. I think there's only one other producer or director that can really bring out the beauty of Adam, and that's Noah. I feel like Noah always hits
For
it
sure.
right on the spot.
Also, think about it. Like, Noah trusted Adam to play him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
he played him in Marriage Story and let Adam help tell his divorce story. Like, that's a huge amount of trust
Yeah.
in someone, I think. So that's beautiful.
Yeah. I can't wait till we talk about
Hopefully
that.
We can talk
by the way.
to yes, that, and then when we're young, that Ben Stiller movie that was
Yeah.
directed by Noah. I think that might have been the first time they worked together.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was a Noah film because I was like, how many times does he work with Noah? And I didn't really know. And then I was like, oh my God, baby Adam with tats. Anyways, so
The first movie that he did with Greta, was that a Greta movie or was that a Noah movie? You know which one I'm talking about?
Francis Ha,
Yeah. I think that was a Greta movie.
he is so in that movie.
He's Sackler. He's baby Sackler in that movie, I feel like. Like the short hair and like
He's like, don't mind me. I'm just trying to get your attention with nothing but a towel around his waist. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Don't mind me. I'm just trying to get your attention.
You're right. Oh my God. It is a Noah Baumbach movie.
Yay!
That was 2012. Oh my God. They've known each
Hey,
other for
wow.
like 13 years, maybe
Long
longer.
time.
That's amazing. I love that. It makes me think of that, what is it, like a premiere thing where they're all on stage and Adam's trying to wiggle off because he's like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
I think someone from the audience was like, we love you, Adam. And then Noah was like, yeah, we all love Adam. And it was so cute.
Yeah.
Today, the main course, like this is a dinner party, the main course is is Hurricane Wars.
Yeah, baby.
I only read it but via audiobook, so I actually haven't touched the book. But, when we talk about Monsoon Rising, well, I'll probably reread. It's been untouched, sitting on my shelf 4 months.
Dude, the amount of books that I've had for years that have been untouched. Yeah.
There we go. And then I have the pretty, moon cycles on here on the...
I do not. Mine is
And there she
regular.
is. Thea Guanzon.
It sounds like croissant.
Well, that's how someone said her name on a podcast I listened to. It's probably just
Oh, I
Thea
don't have her.
Guanzon.
Yeah, Guanzon. She is Filipina.
Yes.
And the Hurricane Wars
No, I can't.
is by this beautiful, lovely lady.
Yes.
And it is basically a Reylo fanfic turned published, just like Allie Hazelwood. And so this right here is Alaric, and this right here is Taliesin, and they are Kylo and Rey. So we will be talking about that. And then we're also going to have to say if it's a Reylo coded or then Reylo inspired at the end of it.
All right. Cast your
Yes.
ballots. No. To those who have read it. It's a really long book for me.
Yeah, for you. Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's a regular, like, for fantasy.
Yeah, I guess I've heard through the grapevine that fantasy is a really long book.
Yeah. So the main characters are Taliesin and Alaric. And Alaric is on the dark side. Like, he is the son of the Emperor. And Taliesin is a rebel orphan. Or at least she thinks she's an orphan. However, later she discovers that she is the Lechiska, which is like the princess of Nenevarine. Varine?
Neverine, yes. I was like,
Yeah.
Never.
So he is part of the Knight Empire, and she's in the rebellion. So of course that already shows us, yeah, that's definitely Kylo and Rey coded. She is a light weaver, and he is a shadow wielder. Is that what it's? Yeah, he has shadow magic, and she has light.
I think another term that they were saying was sever, like a light sever and a shadow sever. That was like another term that they used as well.
Yeah, probably like Jedi and Sith, maybe.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have like hilts, and they can conjure their weapons. What I like about this, though, like, it's not just one specific weapon that they can conjure. They can conjure anything they want, like whether it's daggers, a sword, a broadsword, a longbow, crossbow, whatever they want.
A shield.
A shield. That's dope. Like, I was like, okay, that is actually cooler than in Star Wars, because there's a lot of similarities.
Literally.
Yeah, I feel like Thea really merged like the fantasy premise and the Star Wars world together in a really beautiful way. Because you can tell there's some things that are like, that's inspired from Star Wars, but changed, you know. She did it really well.
Right.
Yeah. And what I was like, oh, this is so much cooler than in Star Wars, is them being able to conjure whatever weapon they want. I was like, oh, that's dope.
Right. And it wasn't just the Force. Like, there were different, realms of nature that you can conjure the magic from. And so it wasn't just everyone interacting with the Force. It was different ones. And the fact that they utilize this magic to power their homes, to power like their communities and things like that. And it's just like, it's more useful than just saying like, haha, I can do this. And like, it actually had like a mechanism, like a reason to exist, like, Yeah. So I did thought that was very creative.
And what I also like is that he is part of the Wolves, the Sardavian Wolves, which basically is the Knights of Ren.
And he wears this badass mask.
Yeah, he wears like a wolf mask that only covers. By the way, that reminds me of that behind the scenes photo of Adam from The Last Duel, where he has the COVID mask on. And his hood, the black hood, we can put it here. We all know what it is. I was like, that's Alaric. Like, or reading Alaric, I was like, that photo right there. Him just doing, oof. I was like, all I can see is that photo.
We'll have to see if there's like a fan made picture of
I'm pretty sure there
them
is.
drawing that and then putting this here. I'll have to see if I can hunt it down and be like.
I think Viv did. Viv Sketches on Instagram. I'm pretty sure she did that because I feel like
I'm gonna stalk your stuff. No.
She's one of the official digital artists for the Hurricane Wars. So we can put this in here as well. So yeah, shout out to you, Viv. You the bomb. Amazing artist.
Yes.
Yeah. And she was involved with the Hurricane Wars art. So back to the premise. So basically they are semi-forced to marry. So it's an arranged marriage for the greater good. There's a greater threat and they have to join forces and defeat this threat, basically.
Well, Alaric is the threat. And so basically her town that she fought for was taken over by Alaric and Empire. I'm just called the Empire. I can't remember what their thing's called.
The Knight Empire, yeah.
So then they take refuge at, I already forgot the
Sardavia.
place.
Never. Hold on.
Help. She needs a glossary in the back.
Literally. Nenevarine?
Nenevar.
Thank you. Nenevar.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's Sardavia and Nenevar.
What actually happens is that her and Alaric are battling. And honestly, I just, quick aside, the fight scenes are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Those, if I got sucked into anything, it was the battle
It was the fight scenes
that she
100%.
wrote.
Yeah, I wanted so many more of those.
Fucking rad.
Yeah, that was dope.
It really showed, the chemistry between them the same way that fighting that Kylo and Rey had when they fought. You felt that passion, and it was the same passion. They end up being taken hostage, and then that's when Taliesin learns that she's royalty, and then Alaric is able to kind of escape.
Yeah.
And then they basically have to forge a union so that the Night Empire doesn't take over Nenevar. So that's the reason for their marriages. But what we learn is that both sides are finding ways to destroy the other. So like the Emperor is like, oh, well, we're going to take Talison's magic from her and then use it to wield it so that we can have all the power. And then Talison's bitchy ass grandma is saying, finding ways to trick that side so that they can. It's almost like she's like, let's give them both a version of Snoke.
Literally,
let's split Snoke in half and give them both Snoke. Like
the grandma, I was like, fuck you. Reading this book, I was like, the grandma doesn't give a shit about Taliesin. Her dad, yes.
No.
I feel like he's like a puppy dog for his mother, for the queen.
Because he's scared of her, yeah.
Yeah, he's like definitely like but he does love Taliesin. And I'm like really glad that she had those beautiful moments with him. Like, he is such a girl's dad. He's
written so
sweet.
well. Yes, he's so proud of her. My God.
He's one of my favorite characters for sure. My favorite character, I would almost say. I mean, obviously Alaric, but...
Alaric is... Gaheris is dad. Gaheris.
Yes, Gaheris, yes. He's so lovely. I love him.
Gaheris, what a good name.
Yeah. And, like, I just love, like, on their wedding day, Alaric and Talison's wedding day, he was like, death stare, like, you better take care of my daughter. He's like, you better. That was so cute. I was like, that's such a dad move.
Well, he also said, you, like... on these terms and conditions, you will never lay a hand on her. You will never touch her, because he just knew that with like the way the Emperor was, he was like, I'm not gonna like just sign her up to get abused. You know what I mean? So, not that Alaric would do that to her anyways. Like, I just had a feeling that he would never do that anyway.
Yeah, but they don't know that for sure, you know?
No, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Alaric was written so well as Kylo, because Kylo, or Ben, is a decent human being, but he was forged into a weapon. And that's exactly what Kylo is. That's why I was like, oh, she hit the spot with Alaric. Like, he has, like, so many layers, you know, he's multifaceted. And, like, he has compassion. He's a decent human being who just was forged into a weapon by his dad. Basically the Snow character, you know?
And his conflict is because he had to part ways with his mother, which is, like, that's the damage part of him, too.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, his dad definitely shows him, oh, you're too much like your mom. Like, yeah, 'cause she's a decent human being. Like, she, when you leave an army, what is that called, that word? You desert. Yeah. So she was a deserter.
Oh yeah, I was like, abandoned? Yeah.
And I think, did she die? I don't remember. She definitely deserted. And so he's like, she's the worst, you know, and you're too much like her, so you have to be different and you have to be more like me and blah, blah, blah. But everything good about him is from his mom, you know, and his dad just changed him for the worse. But it still stuck with him because he still has compassion, he still has empathy, and clearly he didn't kill Taliesin in the first battle. He could have, but he didn't, just like Kylo did with Rey. He was always in defensive mode when he was in combat with her. He was never on the striking mode or on the offense. So, good job, Thea. Really, really.
And she was. I think that's also the scenes where he's teaching her how to build a shield. That says a lot, because it's not just the physical building of the shield. It's because she's never learned how to make a shield, because she was always on the offense. She was always ready to strike at any fucking moment, that she was never able to actually truly defend with a shield.
Yeah.
And to Alaric, that was so easy. He's like, you don't know how to make a shield? Like, bro. But that spoke volumes about how they were raised and their upbringing.
And you can tell that he has so much compassion for her, because he could have said like, well, fuck you then, you know, you little shit. But he's like, no, she never had the opportunity to learn. You didn't have a teacher. You didn't have anybody to guide you. You know, you didn't have a mentor, because you had to stay in hiding because all the light weavers were murdered. You know, they were eradicated, and she's the last light weaver. So she never had anybody to turn to truly teach her any of this, because she wasn't allowed to. So him going, well, then I'll teach you, you know, the basics, and just be there as a mentor for you so that you don't explode internally, you know, because like clearly he knows how that is. Like, what that's like. Again, that was another little Kylo moment where I was like,
I think, I don't know if you remember I don't know if you remember the part where they really tear into each other before they, like, you know, do their thing. He basically is like, you've kind of just followed orders. You kind of just go along and do what everyone tells you to do, but you're never really like doing what you think is best or following yourself. And the same thing could be said about him. Like, they're both kind of trapped in what people are expecting of them. instead of doing
Yeah.
what is best for them. And I think what's going to be great, hopefully, with the next book is that they're going to both be able to just ignore what everyone else is telling them, and then they can come together as a force, as a true
Yeah.
dyad. Because
Dyad.
as they've proven, is their magic can get combined, and no one knows how they're doing that. And they don't know how they're doing that. They're just like, oh my God, the light and the dark are coming together. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
By the way, we said that but at the same time, for me at least. Dyad. We said that at the same time.
dyad. Oh my God. And you know, Shelley, I'm going to be honest. I was really scared because the fact that I did tune out some of the book, I was like, I'm not going to be prepared. Oh my God. And I was like, am I going to remember shit? And Shelley's going to be like, did you even read the book, Shannon? Yes, I did. I swear I read. There's just some parts where I'm just like, and I just wasn't listening.
There were a couple parts where I kind of skimmed it or like skipped over it. And I feel really bad doing that because, I mean, obviously books deserve full attention. However, I was in a reading slump. For me, it was a struggle anyway. And again, it was very slow pace. So like there were some things I was like, I'm just gonna skim. So I mean, I'm obviously gonna be honest, you know, but it still was great and it deserves the praise that it does get, you know, because it is a really good book.
For sure.
By the way, the character Vela, is that supposed to be the Leia character?
Is she like the elderly kind of mentor from
The rebellion,
Sarko?
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's the city called? Yeah, I think so. I kept sitting here thinking, like, who is who? Like, is Gaheris like Luke? Is it Han? Like, but then I think, well, maybe she didn't have to be like copy paste. Oh, this person is this.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
person is that.
Yeah.
But maybe
Yeah.
just like inspired in a way, because Luke was very much like a mentor father figure for Rey, but he also had his, like, he really couldn't truly face himself and what he had done. And Gaheris is probably responsible for what happened to Taliesin and how she became an orphan, and that there's probably more that could have been done for that he didn't do, period. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he's made mistakes. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luke made a mistake trying to kill Kylo.
Yeah. Which Vela is okay, so it's supposed to be Leia. And then Kaid, I'm guessing, is Rose. She's her best friend that is pregnant.
So the audiobook pronounced her name as Kada. So is it
Kada.
Kaid or
Okay.
Kada?
I read it as Kaid, but it might be Kada.
I don't know, girl, because I was listening to an audiobook, so I just thought Kada. Yeah.
Kada. And then Soul is Finn, I'm pretty sure. He unfortunately dies, like, in the first chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Or Finn. So she definitely changed that. And then I have a theory that Vela is Alaric's mother. Because she's like she's top of the rebellion. And I feel like, I don't know why, but I think that's his mom. That's my theory. I don't know. Because, I mean, it wouldn't make sense. If she's the Leia character, then obviously, you know, Leia being Ben Solo's mother. If she copied that as well, or like was inspired by that.
Yeah, did Alaric meet her?
No.
Okay, because I feel like Alaric would be like, that's mom. We saw her.
Yeah.
It's not like she left when he was a baby and he doesn't know what she looks like. So
yeah, no.
That would be a really good twist.
Yeah, because the grandma, the Dragon Queen, she basically only speaks to Vela, I think, once they meet. And then Taliesin, she finds a way to, like, behind the scenes talk to Vela. And I think one time she even, like, leaves Nenevar to speak to Vela, get her mission, like, you know, be updated on the mission. And then she goes back to Nenevar. So I don't think Vela and Alaric ever cross paths. The grandma and Vela do, and obviously Taliesin, but I don't think with Alaric or any of his wolves.
But that would make sense because we don't know that Leia and Han are Kylo's parents right away either. So that would be kind of a Star Wars reveal if she ended up working that into the book.
Yeah, and that would be such a beautiful touch. That would be so great.
Mm-hmm. No, totally.
Imagine in, like, the last book, Vela going, bring him home. Just like Leia said to Rey, bring him home. Or to Han. She said it to Han.
I got goosies you saying that.
Yeah. Can you bring him home? That would be great. Yeah.
Alaric is so well written. He's so complicated. He's definitely sassy. Maybe a little sassier than Kylo, but we know Kylo's sassy, but they don't really show those colors in the book too often or in the movie too often. But Alaric really loves to pick at Rey. Listen to me, now I'm getting all fucked up. Alaric picks on Taliesin all the time because he loves to make her pissed.
Yeah. I feel like that isn't very Kylo. That's definitely like a little original twist to the Ilara character. I feel like that's a little bit more Rhysand there. Just trying to like tease Art, I feel like Kylo or Ben, I don't think he would do that. He would be sassy, but he wouldn't like
No.
tease her, to like, he wouldn't do that. It would be
Yeah.
unintentional, if anything, but he would be fucking sassy, that's for sure.
He'd rather do the triangle in the elevator. He's like,
Uh-huh.
eyes, lips, eyes. Eyes, lips,
Yep.
eyes.
Also, to draw more parallels, there were so many instances where I was like, that's that moment from the movie, that's this. On page 175, she says, I won't find happiness, I won't find it with that monster. Yes, let's look at it. And she calls it monster.
She says monster quite a few times in there.
Yeah. And then there's also on page 201, he says, I will do what I must. I forgot what the context was, but I was like, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
I know what I must do. I know what I must do.
I will do what I must. I was like, oh, that's definitely giving Kylo. And then, I forgot what page it is, but there's a moment where after he realizes that Taliesin is his bride-to-be because she's veiled, like the moment where they're like, oh, you're going to have to marry the Lachiska of, Nenevar. And then he realizes that it's Taliesin that he has to marry and not just a random princess. He says, it is you. Just like Kylo says when he sees Rey for the first time on the Star Destroyer. Thank you. Fuck. I was like, what's it called again?
What?
Because like that, by the way, yeah, what girl? I know it's only in the books. It's like only in the novel that he says, it is you. It didn't make it into the movie, unfortunately. But we know that like he clearly saw her in the visions that she had when she touched the saber. At least that's what I think. When she touched the saber, she had the visions, saw Kylo in the Knights, and then he like looks at her, and then when he sees her again on the Star Destroyer, not the Star Destroyer. What's it called?
The ship?
No, not the Death Star. It is the
Finalizer?
Starkiller Base. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. Like,
yeah.
Like, what does she want from me? I don't know. I'm like, a ship name. Starkiller Base, yeah.
So then when he sees her again for the first time on Starkiller Base when they're fighting and she, holds out her hand and boom, the saber flies into her hand, he goes, it is you, because he's seen her before. Mm-hmm. And that's why she says it here. I was like, oh, ma'am, you did your research. You know, this is a through and through Reylo,
Can I add one thing? This doesn't have a number, but I remember at the beginning of the book, on the audiobook, they also read this part.
Yeah, it says, dedication.
I did this for the rats. I went, ha! Like, I screamed because it was so funny.
Right,
I did this for the rats.
Right there. I did it for the rats.
Yeah. I did it for the rats.
Thank you. The rats appreciate it, babe. Yeah, so is mine. She did do it for the rats, and she came through. Especially because, like, there's one part on page 223, when they're training together, they have a Tros Reylo moment when they nod. They both nod at each other. Just like in this clip. I read that, I was like, ah!
It's also just like this mutual respect as people who fight. Despite, their romanticy, slow burn, it's just like a...
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And she describes Alaric's smell as sandalwood cedar. That's so Adam-coded. So, yeah.
Just gonna light my leather and embers over there real quick.
So this is what Alaric smells like.
I still buy that candle on the regular.
Wait,
Thank you very much. I know, literally.
Oh,
I buy the big one now. Look, it's just...
Oh, nice. The first time I showed Jenny, she was like, "Ooh, this smells like a sexy man." It's like it's Adam coded.
Okay, we're good.
Oh.
It's like that's what I want my house to smell like is incense, patchouli, and man. Like that's all I want. And I'm wearing Burberry Hero, the parfum. Right now.
Right now. Burberry Hero.
Burberry Hero, a new fragrance for men.
Right here. I
even applied it because it's in a splash bottle. I applied it like that new Dracula movie. He goes, when he puts on his little fragrance oil, he's like, doop, doop. So when I did my little splash, I went, boop, boop. Like a little kiss.
By the way, really quickly, a couple weeks ago, I
Yes.
went to like this drugstore and or not a drugstore, but like it's called Douglas, which is like almost like Sephora. I walked out and then I was just minding my own business and then I smelled some Burberry Hero on a guy and I just went, and he just looks at me. I was like, I'm sorry, this is weird, but are you wearing Burberry Hero? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, nice. And then he just walked off like, what the fuck? Like a creepy ass bitch. So that was unfortunately it wasn't like a cool experience, but like
Okay, well, you don't deserve to wear it if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Go buy some polo
Like,
then, because you don't deserve it.
yeah.
Fucking horseman.
Anyway. Okay. Of course it was not very satisfactory that they are now apart, but like I get it has to have a cliffhanger for the next book. And I mean it's already out, so like, we can't complain. We can literally just continue.
Yeah, I think I might actually reread it now that I don't have like I should have read it when you were reading it. That way I could have been like, oh, I already read it. Instead I'm like cramming the book in like, we're gonna talk about this in 2 days. But I might reread it, and then once we talk about Monsoon Rising, then we can like, dive in deeper.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna hold off on reading Monsoon Rising until like right before we talk about it so that it is fresh, because I did realize like there's a lot of things that I just kind of forgot, and it would have just been nicer had it been like completely fresh, like for you right now. So I'm definitely gonna hold off on it until we find a time to film that episode. But I just something about them saying like these MMCs saying my wife. I don't know, something about it just goes.
Because it's a way to kind of be possessive without being possessive. Because I know some people don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, I own you in your body. Like, that's fucking weird. But like, if it's like you're mine.
We belong
matrimoniously together in harmony, and
Yeah.
I'm yours and you're
Yeah.
mine. Because I don't like that either. Like it feels like this ownership kind of thing.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah.
Because it's like, nope, bitch, this is my body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's like a healthy amount of respect when you say my wife instead of like my girl or whatever. There's definitely a difference. Like you said, there's a level of possessiveness when you say, oh, she's mine. However, if you say like, oh, she's my wife, that's just like them saying we belong together and we're a family. I have your back whether we're married or whether we're romantically involved or not. And I think that's what's hot. I have your back, you have mine. We're in this together.
Yeah.
You can rely on me, I can rely on you. Basically saying we're partners and we're romantically involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was nice when he says, oh, she's my wife. I'm like, yeah. Because there was one moment too where he kind of defended her to someone. I think it was like one of his wolves said something against Taliesin. I don't remember the exact situation, what it was. And he's like, don't speak about my wife like that or something along those lines. He's like, well, she's my wife and you're going to show her the respect that she deserves because she's my wife. I'm like, oh.
Because she's going to be the Night Empress as well. So it's not just his fucking wife. She's going to be the Night Empress and then above them.
Precisely.
Also, what's really cool near the end is that the Dragon Queen, the Night Empress bows to no one. And she's actually above the Dragon Queen. So the Dragon Queen actually has to bow to her as a Night Empress. It's like, well, fuck you, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Female Snoke.
You bow to no one.
Is that a little Lord of the Rings little sprinkle?
It's a Sarah J. Maas little sprinkle. It's Rhysand to Feyre, I believe.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because they get married and then
They become married. It's all, of course, yeah, duh. I was thinking like, why does it sound so familiar when you said Lord of the Rings? Of course, my friends, you bow to no one. Yeah, that too. But
But yours makes more sense. Mine went like way off to a completely different other fantasy world, and yours is still like in romantasy.
To be fair, it's always okay to bring in Lord of the Rings. Let's be real. Come on. We love Lord of the Rings. Oh my god. Lord of the Rings is just...
Lembas bread. One bite fills the stomach of a fully grown man. Mary, how many did you eat? Pippin. 3.
Lembas. Elvish whey bread. One small bite is enough to fill the stomach of a grown man. How many did you eat? 4.
I love Pippin. If I had to be a hobbit, I would be Pippin. That would be me. Anyways.
Who would I be? Probably Pippin as well, though.
I feel like you'd be like Sam. Or we're 2 Pippins? Great.
Yeah. Or Mary. Yeah. I mean, I was Mary for our Lord of the Rings. What's it called? Like fan film.
Mary!
Mary. I was meta. You Bow to No One is also, quote, in Wings in Ruin, which is the third ACOTAR book. I didn't remember if it was the second or if it was the third, but yeah, he says it to Feyre. Yeah, because
Got
she
it.
is the High Lady. Anyway.
High Lady of the Night Court. Yes.
Yeah. So, overall general opinion of this book. What would you say?
I love what was going on, but it was too long. I felt like
Mhm.
it could have been like just a little bit, but I understand. Like when you are
Mhm.
writing a world and you're just in it and you're loving it and you're writing it, and then an editor
Mhm.
says like, you need to take this out or you need to put this in instead of this, then it feels like a dagger to the heart. I read that our editors were really kind of like letting her be a little more flexible with it.
Mhm.
But overall, like, I love the world that she created, especially because, like, when you're comparing it to the Star Wars world, you're like, that's a really interesting way to change it so that it's yours. And
Yeah.
the fact that she took it from her own culture and things is all really, really beautiful, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. General opinion, I would say it is a really good book. While I was reading this, I was in a huge reading slump, and I still kind of am. I love reading, like I do it all the time. However, I was in a really bad reading slump, and so that may have affected my opinion on this book, unfortunately. I do like it. I love the theme of it. I love, obviously, that it's enemies to lovers. Like, that's my shit. That's my cocaine, you know? I love that she brought in her own culture into it. Like, I am such a culture person. Like, I love cultures so much. So that the fact that it's Reylo, enemies to lovers, fantasy, and like her own culture incorporated is just gorgeous. All right.
Yes.
However, I did feel like, again, might have been because I was in a reading slump, but for me, the pacing really picked up around here. Like, I was having a hard time reading the first half of the book. It was very slow paced. It was a lot of world building, which, again, like in fantasy books, you kind of have to have that so you understand the world, you understand the setting, you understand the dynamics, everything. But it was just a little too long for me. There were a lot of things I was like, it could have been shortened a little bit, and it didn't capture me right away. I mean, obviously, ACOTAR is the biggest fantasy or romantasy series out there right now. And so I always do, unfortunately, kind of like compare it to that, just because like that got me back into reading, because you're captivated instantly and it just gets better and better and better. And this, like, it was amazing, but again, like I feel like that much could have been gone, and then everything in the, like, from the beginning or from the middle of this book, it was great. But I did struggle a little bit to get through it, to be honest.
Right, me too. And I felt like, because like I said, I was listening audiobooks, so there were times where I felt like I wasn't listening. And then, and I should preface to say also that I don't care how long a book is.
Yeah.
What matters is that the book is keeping my attention. And if it's not, then I am going to drown it out. And when the good things were happening and I was really, I was stopping what I was doing, because a lot of the time I was like cleaning or doing something while listening or driving. And then, you know, if my mind isn't drifting off and I'm listening, I'm like I was in it.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's some pacing things where I'm like, this should have happened like 10 chapters ago. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like this should have happened way sooner. So I actually listened to a podcast last night, and it was called Upper Pen Podcast. So they talk about books and stuff, and they had her on. And she talked about how the Philippines was colonized 3 times from the Spanish, the U.S., and Japan, and how her great grandparent and his father led a rebellion in their town. So it's almost like that fight is like in her blood, like for freedom. And that's like the whole, you know, Talison's like side, right? There are some things that she said about the pacing where she's like, I don't know if it was time yet. I'm like, girl, I felt like a lot of things could have happened way sooner.
Yes, I agree. Just because I think what the pacing kind of made me go a little bit, or made me struggle, was just the world building and describing the rebellion and this and that. So everything around it. However, I did like the pacing of the romantic dynamic. I did like that because I love a slow burn. So I gravitate towards that. Anyway, like in other books where it just like immediately jumps in, like immediately jump into the smutty parts. I'm like, oh. In real life, that wouldn't make sense. So I enjoyed the romantic pace of this, for sure. For me, I was like, this makes sense. Especially if they hate each other, they're not going to immediately jump into bed together, you know?
That's the thing. So that's what I was going to say before. I was like, no, I'll let Shelley, because I didn't know what you were going to say. But I think they hated each other maybe the first half of the book. They don't hate each other. They are conditioned to hate each other. It's the same with Kylo and Rey, they don't hate each other. They're conditioned to because of the side of the war that they're on. They don't hate each other.
Yeah.
They have a lot of respect, and they actually listen to each other, and they're only conditioned to hate each other. So the whole thing, like, because on the podcast, she was saying, like, hate is another form of passion. And she mentioned how they hated each other so much. And I just didn't interpret it that way. So, like, when she was describing, like, how long the burn went, I was thinking, like, oh, they should have kissed, like, 10 chapters ago. They didn't have to be banging in chapter 10. Like, I didn't want it to happen immediately either. But even her editor in this podcast, because she was thinking about, like, oh my God, my family's gonna read this, my parents are gonna read this book, and I gotta put smut in it. Her editors literally said, she's like, I wasn't sure if the smut would feel organic by now, and her editors was like, you've been edging your readers for hundreds of pages. And I was like, that's what was happening to me. I was being edged for hundreds of pages. And then I sent you my reactions, which I am okay to post somewhere. And I was literally like, oh my God, finally!
I will say, yeah, that's true. That is true. Like, them having tender moments, I feel like that could have been a little bit earlier. Yes. Like, obviously, like, the sex part, I was like, no, that feels organic for it to be really completely at the end. But, like, them having, like, tender moments, whether it's a kiss or just, like, touching or, like, just showing some kind of affection, definitely could have happened earlier. That's true. Yeah. Those are the things that, like, keep you captivated, keep you like, oh, there it is, you know? And it didn't happen for a while, for a minute. Yeah, but, like, the actual sex scene, I'm glad it was at the complete end, because that does feel organic.
And that was, like, what, second or third base?
Yeah.
On their wedding night?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, oh my God, they didn't even consummate their marriage. Like, if you're thinking of those terms, like, you know, back in the day, like, you have to consummate your marriage, even if it's, like, arranged, like theirs was. Yeah. She did say the next one has more.
That's what I like, though, when it, like, builds up. Like, if you get all of it right in the first book, it's, like, so anticlimactic.
I know. Well, like, you read more fantasy than I do, so I probably was just like, oh my fucking God, because they just argue, and I'm literally like, just shut the fuck up and kiss. You're two dolls, and you're just shoving them together.
You were spoiled by Love Hypothesis, because, like, the first page is a kiss. It was, like, completely different pacing.
And then you only waited 16 chapters to get sex. That's true.
And I mean, like, normal fantasy books obviously don't have a lot of smut. However, romantasy books do. And I feel like Sarah J. Maas was kind of like the pioneer for that, or to, like, bring it to our attention. And how romantasy does it, it's just beautiful. It's sensual. It's not just, oh, they're fucking, you know, it's just...
For sure.
You know, always, like, making fun of it, like, oh, she reads so much, she must be so much. You go, oh, baby, these babies be fucking in these books, you know? Like, yes, obviously the romantic aspect of it is what catches us, is what makes us want to continue reading, but still, it's a fantasy book because we love fantasy, and we are nerds, and having that little bit of smut is just beautiful, you know? And I feel like that's what she really nailed it.
And I'm not saying what she had wasn't good.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like porn. Like, there's a way to balance it to where it's not, you know, but you do need to kind of be direct about what's happening, is what she did too. Like, there's a balance of making it beautiful, but then also, like, what are they doing? You know, so, yeah. Anyway,
it's like, because you were like, oh, I don't want it to be porn. Whereas, like, baby, this is clitoris.
I love that. But you know what? I am such a hypocrite, because the book I'm writing right now, and I've already expanded it, it's 32 chapters. No sex yet. I've written, like, masturbation scene, and then I wrote, like, I'm going to write, like, just emotionless sex, but actual intimacy sex. I've written it, but it's not even in yet. Like, so it's not that I can't write a slow burn, or that I just felt like this book, with the way the pacing was going, it could have happened sooner. Not that the timeline or whatever of the time that passed, but there were so many scenes where I'm literally like, do we need that? Like, could this have been, like, shoved into another scene to, like, cut it down a little bit? Yeah. Because, I mean, 120K words is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I looked up the word count. 120K for a first time, like, debut publish is, like, a lot. From what so now I'm scared for mine. Like, I think I'm on close to 50K. and I haven't even gotten to the meat of mine. So I'm getting nervous.
The meat.
And mine's not even fantasy. It's the meat, the juice, which isn't the smut, by the way. That's not the meat of the story. But
yeah.
Anyways, so should we circumnavigate back to talking about the premise eventually?
Yeah, just really quickly, there's just one more thing that I want to say about literature.
Yes.
So, what I feel like romantasy books, or how we call them cliterature, what they do especially for us women, is you lay off the shame that was instilled in us by society for having sex, for having pleasure. Women are allowed to have some fucking pleasure. When you have sex, you're allowed to like it. You're allowed to masturbate. You're allowed to have somebody go down on you.
It's natural.
It's so natural, and it can be so beautiful, and that's what these romantasy books show us. It's not just straight up porn. That's the only thing that, like, as teenagers or whatever, the only thing that you can be exposed to is fucking porn. Like, and that's not normal. Like, that's not natural.
No.
Like, people don't have sex like that. And so these books show us how it can be a romantic connection with someone and then actually finding pleasure with them, and like showing women how they should be treated. You know, they should be worshipped. And those are the words that, especially, you know, Sarah J. Maas uses. Sorry, I can't. I always bring her into it, of course. You know,
Who
so
else? Who else? No.
Because I mean, it's my favorite series. So that's like how the words that are descriptive words that are used, make it beautiful, make it positive, and nothing to be ashamed of. You know? And so that's why I love romantasy books, because it opened up a whole world for me. Like, you don't have to be ashamed of it. It's such a natural process. It's such a natural thing to have. You eat. You're allowed to have beautiful cuisine. You know, you don't eat sandwiches every day. Sometimes you want, I don't know, some people want caviar, you know? It's the same thing with sex. It's a natural, fundamental need that every person has. And you're allowed to make it beautiful. You don't need to be a fucking nun, or, you know? Especially because society or religion, of course, it was instilled since, like, oh, you can't touch yourself. You're not allowed to have any exposure as teenagers. You're like growing into sexuality and discovering that there's no opportunity to actually fully grow into it and experience it and learn about it. You know, it's always just facts. Well, just the mechanisms basically of having sex. And like, that's in school, and that's that, you know, sex ed. And then anything beyond that, oh my God, is taboo. No. Like, yes, you have to be safe about it, but a lot of people can't be safe if they don't know about the matter, you know? So that's why I'm always like, read romantasy books. Because if you're not into fantasy, there's, of course, other amazing, but like Ali Hazelwood, you know, like modern romantic books or novels that you can read.
Contemporary books that have sex.
And written well. And if you want that kind of like pleasurable literature, go with female authors. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, male authors just don't get it. Not all. I'm sure there's a couple people that might know about it, but go with a woman. I don't even pick up male authors anymore because I'm just like,
I mean, authors telling themselves they write what they like.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I just love the concept of the Hurricane Wars because it combined my two favorite things. So like romantasy, you know, it's like a fantasy romance novel with Star Wars and Reylo merged together. So I was like, oh. Unfortunately, I was in a reading slump, so it was a little bit of a struggle, but still gorgeous. Gorgeous. Really good job, Thea. Really, really good job.
Thank you, Thea, for blessing us with a lovely book. Yes. And then feeding the rats like we're doing. We're all feeding each other. It's great.
Yes. So to also really recap, is it Reylo coded? Is it Reylo inspired? I would say it's Reylo inspired because she literally takes the concept of Reylo and just copy paste and just modifies it into like a Filipino version and fantasy 100%. Version. So it's definitely Reylo inspired. If you want something that's so similar to Reylo that you can't get enough of it, this is the one. This is for sure the book.
Yes, absolutely. And if you love a slow burn to when you're burnt to a crisp, then this is the book for you. Sorry. You guys, guys, if you haven't found us already and are listening right now, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and UBTube. YouTube's giving me some copyright issues, so if we're not on YouTube, then we're going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
We're also on Instagram and TikTok at Good Soup Great Driver, and I'm on Instagram as Starry Eyes, StarrYYEYES, and TikTok at What's Up Shannon.
You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok, both at I've Always Been Solo, BENSOLO.
Yay! Thank you for joining us, and stay hydrated. Eat your rice pudding or whatever food they eat in this book.
Yeah, rice pudding, yes. The lotus.
She was so descriptive about the food, and I can't even think about the food right now.
I know. Honestly, it sounded so good, but yeah. Read your books, read your literature.
Read your literature.
Read your literature, stay hydrated.
And do it for the rats. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Star Wars strangers ask you to grab a drink, do it, because you will be positively surprised that it will be an enchanting evening. What else? That's it.
Okay, guys. Bye!
Bye, guys!
If you survived this episode, please go follow us on our socials that we mentioned, and give us a follow on YouTube and Spotify so you are notified when we post. Stay fed, rats. Great driver.